Check, check, check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Do you see me? Check, 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 check. You should have me. Hey, Dad. Hey, can you just make sure that we are all right on that feed? Yeah. Good? Well, good evening, you guys. This is where I turn and just look this way. I've made it my mission this evening to not shed a tear. I can tell you it's probably going to be a mission that's unsuccessful this evening. Seeing all of you guys and what you mean to this place and what you mean to me, words can't describe. So, we're going to go through a little bit of history here, but I have my beautiful family up here with me. Jackson. Yeah, Jack. And he loves his new Red Sox hat. Yes. And Emma. Can you say hi, Emma? Wave. And I don't know if this is what my wife was going to say, but 6 years ago, to the day, Kate and I stood on this very stage, and she had Jack like in a little carrier on her belly because he had just been born. He was just shy of 2 months old at that point. And if you don't know the miracle of his birth tied to this whole remix story, it is incredible. And it's a personal story, but I've shared it with a few of you guys, and I've shared it at our church. But this little guy is very integral to all of this, and it all stems back to just a place of obedience to God and what God's telling you to do. Blessings and the miraculous are on the other side of obedience if we just step out in faith. But I am not here to preach tonight. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. But, okay. My wife's up here, and she has some rag, and she goes, there's significance to it, so I'm going to let her talk about the rag.
You'll have to hold it because I'm holding. Oh, no, here. You take her. That's easy. Take the child. Yes. This is a REMIX coffee rag. And you may be thinking, what in the world does that have to do with anything? Well, for the past 6 years, these REMIX coffee rags have ended up in my washing machine. And you may not think about all the things that have gone on behind the scenes, but that's one of them, is washing dirty coffee rags. And as I threw in the last load this week, I was just reminded by the Lord that it may seem an insignificant piece of this whole amazing movement of the REMIX coffee bar, but it wasn't, because it represents the fact that REMIX for the past 6 years have been up to the business of making those who feel insignificant significant, and giving them a place where they feel valued and can find hope and safety. And if we've done that and imparted that to this community, wow. Mission complete for this season, right? And we know that it's not over, but yeah, we just encourage you to just remember that you are not an insignificant piece of your community, and we need you. You are not alone, and we are so grateful, because without you, we wouldn't be here. But yeah.
This is where I'm going to test her to see how good she is at improv and ad-libbing while I run and go change the slideshow.
Okay. Usually he is the one who is. Emma, do you have anything to say? No. Jackson?
I don't know.
Yes. But I guess I can use this as a wife brag moment because there are so many things that have gone on behind the scenes to make Remix Coffee Bar and Social Club possible every Friday night. And Jimmy and I could not have ever done that alone. Obviously, I felt like I had kind of a small piece just behind the scenes, taking care of the kids at home. But with washing the rags, I also was praying many prayers and seeing this guy pour his heart out. And hours that you never would have seen or known. And I'm just so grateful to see how you've grown and how we've grown together. And can I stop talking now?
Yes, you can stop talking. They always, you always wonder who's behind the curtain, right? If you've seen The Wizard of Oz, who's the man behind the curtain? Well, in this case, it's a woman behind the curtain. And like she said, I would come home with a bag full of rags every Friday night. And typically, in classic Jimmy fashion, I'd go right into that laundry room. I'd just throw them on the counter, go upstairs, time to go to bed. And then miraculously, next Friday morning, they're all there ready, clean, and ready to go. And I'm like, well, this is amazing. But similarly, how she shared the story of like taking something so insignificant, making it significant. The palette work that's been here for the 6 years on the walls, every last one of these palettes, ripped from the beginning, every nail pulled out of it. And the idea was to create the visual. Each one of these palette boards represents each and every one of us. You're one of those palette boards. And look how they're all different shape. They're all different colors. They all got different jagged edges. That's what, if you look around this room, we're nothing but a palette wall right here. Seriously, with all of our various backgrounds, what we've been through, the scrapes, the bruises, everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. The blood, sweat, and tears. Think about where else can you find a place where you get all of that type of diversity all in one area. It's so very good, and I think successful in accomplishing that mission. So, love you. Thank you. Jackson David, what are you going to do tomorrow?
Go to Red Sox game.
He's going to get some daddy and uncle and cousin time tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. Go Sox is right. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys long, but I did have to say a few. If I just said, okay, have a good night, and just kind of left, I would feel like I missed an opportunity, because there's a lot of thank yous to be said that need to be said that probably haven't been said enough, and I need to take this as an opportunity. You guys need to collectively know, besides my wife, there are a lot of people behind the scenes that have made this all possible. And before we do that, I wanted to go a walk down memory lane. And I said, in the beginning, after Genesis 1:1, after that, right? This picture probably has no real significance to any of you guys, but without that building right there, you're not in this building right here. That building was in Hawaii, and if you see those green canopies, that was a Starbucks. And back in May of 2016, I was sitting there having a Starbucks coffee, journaling, and I turned around and I saw that building, and on that building, you can't really see the word. I have another picture of it. It said Remix. This building, the store, this little boutique was called Remix. And in classic God fashion, my journaling that day was on 2 Corinthians 5:17 about being a new creation in Christ. And I went right to my testimony of being a club DJ and remixing music. And I was like, wow, why am I sitting here journaling about being a new creation? And the word remix is right there. And like, I just literally, in that moment, saw my testimony on a wall. And now I can look here, and I've always said it. When I see that sign, I literally see my testimony. And I see the testimony of so very many people just simply in that word. You fast forward the clock, God deposits the vision for Remix, and I kind of look lost. Don't I look lost? Like, oh my gosh, what are we about to do? This was maybe a month or two after coming back from Hawaii and presenting the vision of Remix to our church body. And they were probably like, what? You're crazy. What is this? We used to have a guy on our board, Dave Murtaugh. Who remembers Dave Murtaugh? Love the Murtaugh family. Dave Murtaugh was part of our original board, and he always would say, but what are we doing? Because we were just like, we're just going to have this place where people want to come and hang out. And Dave's like, yeah, but you're going to have something for them to want to do, or you can't just expect people to show up. Well, Dave, I think you'd be proud of what what it turned out to be once we figured it all out. But here's one of those moments where people, not a lot of lights and fanfare, but there was a core group of us that multiple times prayer hiked up Arrowhead Mountain. We'd go right up there at dusk, watch the sunset, and just pray over the city. And I know there's other churches and other people that do the same thing, but we took a number of us multiple times going up there just praying. We even did prayer walks around the city where we picked strategic places, schools, police stations, hospital, picked strategic places to pray. And we covered this place in prayer before any brick and mortar came into fruition. And that's pivotal. It was shortly thereafter, after the praying, seeking, writing, drafting a proposal, sharing the vision, we also presented the vision to the Claremont City Council, and then we secured our 1 Pleasant Street location. And that awesome mint green paint, right, Will? Yeah, we got rid of that. It was that same month that we also made our first public appearance to the city of Claremont via their Chili Cook-Off and Fall Festival, which is a fantastic event, well attended. It's a great way to be out in the community. And again, we're there. We're like, yeah, we're going to do this thing called REMIX. Come hang out with us. And not knowing what would transpire, but we were there. And then let the renovations begin. And I mean, I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures of the whole process and videos and whatnot. But just to give you a little glimpse of what it was and what it became. And I'll tell you, many of you guys have heard me say this. Seeing the before and after. Think of your life before Christ, after Christ. We all have that kind of picture. Think of your life. You have a before picture and you have an after picture. Just like this space, brick and mortar, you can see it. I'll tell you what, I can look out and see people that have been a part of REMIX, and I can say, I see the before and after. Do you see it? Because I see it. I've seen the transformation right before my eyes. If someone had told me it was going to take just short of $100,000 to do the whole project, blood, sweat, and tears, all of it, donations, never would have started. My volunteers, we wouldn't have started. Too surmountable, too big of a endeavor. Why would we do it? We all have families, we all have jobs, we all have kids. Like, why would we do this? This is God and his sovereignty. You just obey and just do it, and he provides along the way. And then 6 years ago to the day, we had our launch party in this very space. And we had a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, David Bodaya, here with us that night, sharing about his testimony. He wrote a book called Greater Than Gold, and how his chase for the highest accolades you could imagine as an Olympic diver, gold medal, never settle for anything less. And that whole attitude and how God just made him hit rock bottom and really surrender some things in order to get to the top. We actually have several copies of his book, Greater Than Gold. If anyone, before you leave, wants a copy, free, I've got a ton of them. Bye, Emma. Bye, Jack. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Be sure to see me if you want a copy of that book. It's a really good story, a good testimony of what God did in his life. Well, I don't really know what the next one is. Okay, hold there. So what have we been able to accomplish in 6 years here? We've held 4 New Year's Eve parties, Resolution Sober. Who's been a part of those events in the past? Yes. Minute to Win It. Mona, she was a star. We used to do the Guy Fieri Minute to Win It games. Gave away a lot of gift cards. We used to play, what's the other one there? The suitcase. Deal or no deal, yes. We heard a lot of testimonies of recovery and healing and just... Is Darcy Lucero still here? There she is. Darcy was one who shared her story. Lisa Putnam has shared her story. Who else has shared their story? Sonia has shared her story. Yes. Shannon had shared his. Yes. So those nights, those those New Year's Eve parties were opportunity for people to share their stories of what God's done in their life. And they were very impactful. And, this last year, we didn't actually, if you remember, we didn't hold a resolution sober. That's why there was only 4. We didn't have one for the COVID year. We had the Night of Hope with Ben Fuller. Well, this last year, when we were planning our New Year's Eve party and it didn't look like it was going to happen, my phone rang. It was Ben Fuller, and he was all mad. He's like, "This isn't right." I'm like, "What are you going to do about it?" He's like, "I'm actually in town." I'm like, "Okay, what are you going to do about it?" And him, along with a bunch of people from our worship team, and Evelyn and Sarah and Julie, we got a whole group of people together, and we turned that into a night of worship. Very powerful time of worship. Yeah, it was awesome. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Sarah. Where's Sarah? Where's Sarah? She's back there. Sarah, my sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-laws, for just taking the lead on multiple nights of worship that we've held here. I'll tell you, people have told us, yes, very important. People tell us all the time when they come in here, they're like, "It just feels different in here." I'm like, it's because it's been covered in prayer and worship, lots of it. And not in front of big crowds oftentimes. We used to do this thing called after hours, where after a lot of people left, a lot of us would, some of us would stay after and just spend times in prayer and worship over this space, over this community, over every single person that would come in here, because that's where heaven meets earth, is in that place of prayer and worship. We actually showed a documentary here on human trafficking and through Operation Underground Railroad, and I will tell you, our church is going to start getting more involved in this whole thing around human trafficking. What can we do? And I don't want to, there's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes being worked on right now with our missions team. But stay plugged in. If that's something you're passionate about, we're going to need volunteers. We're going to need resource. But there's stuff percolating on the back end around how we can get involved more. And don't think it doesn't happen. It's happening, folks. It's happening locally as well. And so we want to be an active part of a resolution there. We hosted a medication-assisted treatment for recovering opioid users. This is one thing that really challenged myself, my team, our church, and how do we engage people that struggle with addiction and specifically opioids. And what we boiled it all down to was we'd rather be wrong on the side of loving people and them being alive than that's off limits. I can't help you there, and then they're dead. They're not going to know Jesus if they're dead. And so we took a step of faith, and I'll tell you, pre-COVID, we had 15 recovering opioid users in this space, in the back there, every last one of them taking a drug screen, sitting back there, group therapy. I mean, it was a regimented, we had counselors, we had doctors here. It was an intense program, and we actually saw people getting better. I saw it happen right before my very eyes. Yeah, it was amazing. And I'll tell you, my whole perception and my whole, just how I view people that struggle with addiction has been radically shifted. And I can look out here and I see many of you guys that have helped me in my own journey and really understanding how you engage people that really struggle in this cycle of addiction. We hosted Celebrate Recovery for over 2 years, and Mona was an instructor, and I see Bob and others that were part of our Celebrate Recovery program. We were meeting here every week for that. We held several private events, birthdays, trainings, weddings, bridal showers. If you were a part of a private event, raise your hand. Hannah was like, many, yeah, yes. I can tell you, we held one wedding here, and we have actually had a funeral too. So we've run the whole gamut. We've done everything in this space. What else is there to do, right? And who can't forget just a few months ago at the Opera House in that incredible event that we hosted there with John Cyphers, Evelyn, and Ben, and just the community showing up, and just a tremendous time of just getting everyone together and just putting on a great evening for our community. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't say, look outside and literally seeing a prayer come to fruition. Our team, from the get-go, from day one, prayed for revitalization, that old streets would be made new, that people would see new value in a community. Yes, in brick and mortar, as you see out there, but also in people's lives. And it's often the two can be linked together. Sometimes it takes a project like that to lift up a community. Because if you don't do things like that, the perception remains that nothing good came of Claremont. And remember Jesus, I mean, they always said, nothing good came of Nazareth. Why would the Savior of the world come from Nazareth? So if I just quickly went through just some numbers, you guys saw this one. So over the 6 years, we had over 30 volunteers from 8 local churches represented. And we were so happy with that. Other churches would support and be a part of this, and that it truly was an interdenominational effort with people of different faiths and different backgrounds being a part of what God was doing here in this community. A lot of coffee, a lot of cocoa, 1,500 pounds. That's a... Bridget, say, that's a lot of coffee. You're saying it with your eyes. That translated to over 15,000 beverages being served. And again, folks, remember, this is 3 hours a week. Not 40 hours like your typical business. This was 3 hours a week. And so when you add it all up, and then I say remix, or no, I won't say remix. You guys have all donated over $30,000 back to the community. And that's no small number. Yes, worth applauding. Because again, if you do the math on 3 hours a week, you're literally talking about just 1,000 hours of operation. So over the course of the year, that's half a year. That's half a year. So if we were just literally open for half a year as a normal business running normal operations, in half a year we would donate $30,000. You guys donated. Your generosity is second to none. Second to none. And I see my friend Chad here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about him. I'm going to put him on the spot. I'm glad he's here. Because oftentimes he's the one up here making jokes about me. It's my turn to make jokes about you. His joke about Jesus, and why isn't there some carpenter cut named after him? He was a carpenter, right? Why isn't this called the Jesus cut? There's no such thing, right? He had a backup career. This is true. So many people have asked me, so Jimmy, what has this meant for you? And honestly, my notes right here, the whole spot's blank. It's blank. Because as I was trying to really articulate, even just typing it out, what has Remix meant to you? I couldn't put it down. I can't write it down. There's just too much. There's too much good. It's hard to articulate and put it into words. I mean, it sounds cliche. He was lost for words. No, look, that's a real thing. I was lost for words last night. I'm like, and it's meant everything to me. So how do you sum that up? It's meant literally everything. In its most simplistic form, all this really was about encouraging people to live that remix life. It's our hashtag. It's why it's right up there on the wall. Live that remix life. And it's our values. Renewed, enriched, missional, inclusive, extreme. If you're a part of Life Fellowship, we've been going through these. We're on missional right now. We're going through what all these values mean. And that's our wristband. Live that remix life. And I encourage you guys, it doesn't end here. Continue to live that remix life. And you're like, what does that mean? It means live a renewed life. Live an enriched life. Live a missional life. Live an inclusive life. Live an extreme life. All for the glory of God. Because He's created you uniquely. And you're capable, and what's within your capability is far more than you ever know. And the reason this is all here is because I saw what God did through my life. I personally experienced this. And knowing that it was too good to not share. You know, when you have something that's so good, you just feel like, oh, I got to tell someone, I got to tell someone, I got to tell someone. That's what this is all about. And I know many of you guys have caught that, and you similarly have done so here at Remix. What He's able to redeem, what He's able to recreate, because He is the creator. The new creation in Christ, the old is gone. And this is where I draw the line, because I will start preaching, and I'm not going to do that. Despite many of you saying I will not. Well, now I got to go through a bunch of thank yous. Obviously, I got to start right with the home church and Life Fellowship. Life Fellowship Church in Charlestown, and our congregation, our leadership there, our church council, for just the grand support, for always cheering us on, encouraging us. Even when I went to them asking for support, whether it's financially or whatnot, them taking risks on us. It's not like it didn't take small money. It took investment from the church. And without anything tangible to be like, this is what I could show you or prove to you that it will actually yield results. They took a calculated risk. And that's when we say, live extreme, take bold risks for Christ. Step out in faith. The Jordan River will not part until you step on it. And then it happens. Other local churches, oh my gosh. Through the last 6 years, we've been able to partner with many of the local churches around here, not just in Claremont, but in other areas as well, and have supported. We've held discipleship programs here and other events through our networks with other churches. Two of the local banks that were phenomenal, their foundations in just financial support, Claremont Savings Bank and Mascoma Bank. Just anytime we reached out with a need or we had an event, I'll tell you what, that Opera House event doesn't happen without the great support of those two foundations, and they are so invested in this community. All you got to do is look at some event and see sponsored by, and you'll see their names, and they put their money where their mouth is. They truly believe in this community, and I'm so grateful, specifically to Albert St. Pierre, and he's been our champion on the Claremont Savings Board Foundation. All the Claremont City Council, mayors, city managers, past and present, again, we've been in front of them multiple times, sharing our vision, and they have done nothing but encourage and support us over the last 6 years. The community of Claremont, where I was born and raised, my parents still live here, the high school I went to, the roads I drove down, many of them, the majority, very supportive and showing up time and time again. You guys, each and every time when there's a call to show up, you guys do time and time again. And this doesn't happen without you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Some specific individuals, a lot of the technology and anything tech in here, I really have to tip my cap to Andrew Boardman. And I don't think he's here tonight, but Andy was just so pivotal in getting everything wired. The years of electrical work that were in this place prior to us moving in, none of it was up to code. We had to have the whole place rewired. And putting everything up, it takes a special attention to detail. And Andy is second to none in that regard. He's so very gifted and talented, and I appreciate him. Pastor Tim Frisch over at Calvary. Tim Frisch is actually, you owe it to him for why you're sitting in this particular space. Tim Frisch was ran the Connect Center, which was right next door to us for a while. Prior to that, he was over by Gene Shaheen's office, and him and I got together when I was first telling him about the REMIX vision. We got together and we were praying, and he looked up when we were done praying, and he points over across the street because you could see this building from his spot. He goes, "That's where you're going to be." And I said, "Well, Tim, we almost purposely didn't look at the 1 Pleasant Street Union Block building." He's like, "Why?" I said, "I just did this. Too much money." He's like, "Have you asked?" I'm like, "No, I assume it's too much money." So we were like looking further down the road, and Will has stories of some of the basements we looked through, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, this is pretty rough, pretty rough." But I will tell you, those who ask get, those who don't. You can't get if you don't ask. And so we we made the request. We told them what we were able to do, the previous owner, and they met us and said, "We love what you're doing, absolutely." And not once in the 4 years that they owned this building did we ever experience any type of rent increase. Just great favor. But Pastor Tim Frisch, believing and trusting and just encouraging us in that place of faith. And then he also was the one who had the idea of our after hours, that time of worship. And so I'm grateful for Tim, his whole family, and what they've meant to REMIX. Probably one of the guys I keep making eye contact with, and he's crying like a baby back there, is Sean Canizaro. Are you crying? I can't see you. There's a big haze in front of me. So. I haven't stopped. So as he started, he hasn't stopped. But Sean and Melissa, I know this is especially hard for them because I know their heart for people that are struggling with addiction and their passion to just see people set free. I mean, you don't, they don't live extravagant lives, yet every dime that they get, they sow into recovery homes. even to the extent where they take risks, they take bold risks to make things happen so that others can be set free. I love their passion. I love what they're doing. I only wish we had more time to continue to collaborate in this forum, but I know that God's got other plans, and God will ensure that our paths stay connected, because there's still many, 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 many people that need that remix life and all that you guys are offering through your variety of recovery homes. So thank you guys. We love you. Anyone seen some crazy guy with a camera like bouncing around all over the place here? Oh yeah, there he is. Dan Dry and Roll Films. Yes. I talk about people having great talents and skills and abilities that God just wired them and gifted them with, and his ability with a camera is second to none. And a lot of the media that you see here, we have a great relationship, great partnership, and he's developed some great content for us. And I will tell you, this isn't some shameless plug, but it's going to be a shameless plug. If you need any content creation, wedding, photography, all that stuff, because I know he loves doing weddings. Maybe he's not doing weddings. He's still doing weddings. Weddings, check him out. Roll Films, LLC. Check him out. But Dan, thank you. I really appreciate your time, your talents, everything that you've offered to Remix. It's been amazing. Is the birthday boy here? Where's Brian Bellevue? Hiding in the corner. Stand up, Brian. All right, that was shameless. That was shameless. That was shameless. That was bad. That was my attempt at being Chad in a comedian, but I failed miserably. Brian, I love you, buddy. And the reason you get a special shout out is because you always remind us to encourage us to love each other every day. And you're not guaranteed tomorrow, and that's why he says, I love you today. When you first started saying it, I was like, dude, get away from me. You're so weird. You're so weird. And now I'm like, Brian, I go out of my way to say it to you now. I'm going to say 3 of our most primary local musicians who just up and left us, and now I have no musical, reliable musical, talent to bring to the stage. Evelyn. Where's Evelyn? Yes. Where's John? Where's Jonathan? There he is, yeah. And Solomon and Micaiah's over here somewhere. Just the whole Cormier family, and Jonathan, and of course Ben Fuller. I mean, you guys are in the fabric of Remix, and all the variety of events that we've held here. You guys, time and time again, anytime I'd reach out and ask, hey, are you available? Are you willing to play? You guys didn't even have to check the calendar. You guys said, sign me up. And I appreciate that. We've had some really, really fun times, some very impactful times, and the running joke, well, it's not, we can't really say it anymore, was you have to play a minimum of 10 times at Remix before you get an invite to Nashville. But now that Remix is closing, I guess, the three of you guys represent down there, okay? All right. Those were our 3 cornerstone musicians, but our main stage comedian, Chad, I was looking back, I was blown away with how many times you and your crew, you had a whole variety of different people come up here and do nights of comedy with us. And I will tell you, I was looking back also, anytime we did an event, we also made a donation. And the nights where we did comedy, whether it was Toys for Tots or we did a fundraiser for the Coombs family, I mean, we made some substantial donations and really were able to bless some families in time of need. So I appreciate your idea. You're the ones who approached me and said, hey, I've got some guys down in Boston. We'll bring them up here and just switching it up, doing something different. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate your effort in ensuring it was PG-13, right? There you go. But Chad, I love you, man. I appreciate your support over the years, coming in here time and time again. And I hope our paths continue to cross. I was going to say, is Pastors Dave and Cindy my in-laws here? But no, they have my kids. They are being grandma and pops right now. But for my in-laws, I remember coming back from Hawaii and so excitedly reaching out to them saying, hey, we got to talk to you guys. We got to talk to you. Like, there's something we want to do. And they came over to our house on the back deck at our place in Claremont when we were here, and sharing with them what God was sharing with us while we were out in Hawaii. And he goes, oh, funny you said that, because we felt God was saying to us while you guys were away that he was raising up and releasing you guys into something in this next year. I'm like, oh, okay. The rest is history. But for always believing in us and cheering us on, especially in hard moments, difficult moments, trying moments that really test your faith. When you sign a lease on a building with not a dime to your name and just saying, I don't know where this is going to come from. No, legit, that happened. And my wife and I, we pulled up here. It was pouring rain. Rent's due. No money. I'm like, well, I guess you and I are going to write a check out of our personal bank account for this one. And we pulled out of the mailbox our first $10,000 check to launch REMIX. And it was just the timing of it, because I had pretty much lost hope at that point, like this is not going to happen. And then God just every step of the way continuously reminded me, I'm in this. This isn't in your doing or your provision, it's in my doing and my provision. A couple that most of you guys in this room have no idea. I'm going to say their name, you're going to be like, I have no idea who that is. Shannon and Gerald Case out in Los Angeles, California. Shannon was Kate's former boss when she worked for Foursquare. And I remember while she was working for Foursquare and sharing the vision with them, they've been following us online. This family, having never stepped foot in these doors, is one of our biggest supporters financially. They invest into you guys, into this community, having never even been here, because they believe in you guys, they believe in the community, believe in the vision of REMIX. So Shannon and Gerald, we love you guys. I really hope you guys make it up to the East Coast here very soon, and appreciate your support. Another couple that only came here for a short amount of time and then moved, Mike and Lydia DiMarzio, just the ones who haven't even been here or have been here for a short time and just continuously support have just meant so much to us. And not just because they donate to us, but because their prayers and encouraging words that they would give. And I know there's many others that I'm leaving out, but I have to, and we all need to give a huge thank you to the volunteers that serve here every single Friday night. Can we give it up? Past and present, all the volunteers. It's probably the group that I wish I could articulate better my appreciation for them other than saying thank you. Like, I'll get you a gift card. Like, no, because they're so deserving of so much more than that. Whether it's, I go back to the kind of the original crew, Ben Bush and Sonia Moore, Ed and Christina serving as a couple, Noah Vidum, Melissa, Caleb, Darcy. Darcy's here tonight again, I mentioned. Julie, Lindsay, Liz, Elizabeth, and the list goes on. I mean, there's others that have served in the past, and like I said, over 8 churches represented. This place does, again, I can have a great idea, but if you don't have people that are going to come and actually implement the vision, it's not going anywhere. And yes, I will say my wife. I do have to say my wife. I will say because of her patience, mostly. The towel, it's, every Friday. Her patience, every Friday night, folks. Pretty much almost every Friday night, I'm here. And a patient wife who manned the fort, took care of the kiddos, and just always encouraged me. Anytime there was an event and I said, yeah, we got this, there was never a, well, what about us? What about your family? Which she very well could have been, entitled to say, absolutely. But very patient and understanding and knowing that what God was doing was something unique and special. And so I appreciate her prayers. And not like I get home at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and she's still up and asking me, so how was the night? How did it go? Those questions meant a lot, even though in the moment it probably seemed insignificant because I was so tired and just wanted to go to bed. But the fact that you still were interested in how the night went meant a lot. Did anyone notice I didn't mention someone? There was a volunteer I left out. My brother Will. Give it up for Will. This is probably going to be the hardest thing. Because it's been a lot of fun. How many people can say they get to hang out with their brother or family member this closely, do something fun like this every single week, like guaranteed you get to do this. Get to let him be creative, get to see him grow as a person. Not only because we got to do a lot of cool stuff together for our community, but I got to spend a lot of time with him. Hear where his heart sat on a lot of things. Let me tell you, saying that you're going to try to have an impact with people who struggle with addiction, that's not for the faint of heart. I mean, like, if you're going to do it, you need to do it. And you need to go full force in it and be willing to get dirty, messy. And I implicitly trust his judgment and his insight because he's seen things that a lot of us have not seen. And the ideas that he would bring to the table, I couldn't envision running REMIX or carrying out such a vision like this without him by my side. So, Will, I appreciate you. I love you, brother. And everyone's like, what is that? So this is one form of which REMIX is going to live on. If you didn't know, our church in Charlestown on September 24th, is going to change its name. It's going to become REMIX Church. That's congruent with Kate and I becoming senior pastors of the church. This is also not for the faint of heart. It's not like you wake up and just say, hey, I want to be a pastor. No, that's not how this is. It's not how it is at all. It's more so taking 6 years of learning from all of you guys, learning from others that are experts in their field about how to engage people that struggle. Guys, we live in a broken world with broken people. And we have found people that are committed and passionate about helping others. And not just a one-time, like, here, I'll let you get by. What I like to call it is supporting the current condition. I don't believe in supporting the current condition and just letting you go through life kind of monotone, plateaued. We have to elevate people to that next place. To bring them to somewhere new. And you've heard me say it. My testimony is one of faith. Jesus Christ changed my life. And I know many in this room can say the same. But I also have learned, not everyone's there, Jimmy. You can't just shove that down people's throats and think that it's just going to fix them right then on the spot. But what I've learned is simply loving on people in time, getting to know their story, because we all have stories, understanding what they're passionate about, building trust and relationship with them first and foremost, meeting practical needs. Oftentimes people are just broken physically. It's hard to be open to the spiritual realm if physically you're hurting. Seeing where people are at for where they're at, without judgment, without throwing stones. And then when the moment's right and you have an opportunity to share, I have an opportunity to share what God's done in my life, then I do. Unapologetically, unashamedly, because I know it's real. And so we're going to take what we've learned here, this discipleship framework, the renewed, enriched, missional, inclusive, and extreme life, the REMIX life, and that's going to be brought to REMIX Church. So that's coming September 24th. We're excited for what God's got in store there. And I did actually have one final thank you. And I said her name already, but I want to say her name again because I want to embarrass her. Bridget Bascom. Can we give it up for Bridget? Everyone's like, why are we clapping for Bridget? Clap for Bridget. Just do it. Just do it. Bridget is the baker apprentice, and maybe not even apprentice. She's an all-out baker now. She's the one who blessed us with the cupcakes this evening. Yes. Look her up on social media, BB Bakery, or Baker. BB Bakery. I like BB Bakery. And of course, our friends down the road, Ramontos, for donating a bunch of pizzas for us tonight. Those guys always come through for us, and just very thankful. And they're just, you know, just an example. We've experienced it from all over the community. Generosity begets generosity. It's a cycle. You give it, it's going to come in. You give it, it's going to come in. I say it at church, a palms up attitude, not a clenched fist. You live like this, your life will change. If we live like this, like, I got this, it's mine, your life's going to be very different. So, continue to live palms up. And I'm done. That was a long time. I appreciate you guys standing the whole time. But how do you sum up 6 years of just God's goodness? Like, how do you put that in a time frame? Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Ugh. There's so much more I could say, but I will not. This is where we want to hear from you guys. This mic's going to be available. And I know Dan's caught a few of you guys to do some interviews back there. He's going to be putting together a compilation of this night, and we'll get that out for all of you guys to see. But we wanted to leave room for people to share openly to all of you guys what REMIX has meant to you. And I'm going to first just go off a hand raised, and then we'll just keep handing off. And don't make me feel like a fool and no one come up here. Like, Chad's like, no one raise your hand. That would be a great joke. No one, raise your hand. All right, let's give it up for Sean. Yeah.
I need sunglasses. Hi, everyone. I'm Sean. Here we go. You know, I was in a recovery home in Littleton, New Hampshire, and my beautiful girlfriend, Melissa, would come pick me up every weekend. Friday after work or whatever it was, for 2 years straight. I was in a recovery home. I'm in recovery. Been in and out. I have been down and out and homeless, and I have to keep it PG-13, but the worst of the worst. You know, I lived a life of crime and drugs, and I earned a reputation of someone that wasn't a nice person. People looked up to me, they feared me, they respected me, but the entire time I was doing that, something inside of me was saying, this isn't it, man, this isn't it, this isn't you, this isn't you. Long story short, in and out of rehab for many years, detoxes, so on and so forth. Back to Melissa picking me up. I end up at REMIX. They were doing a REMIX recovery night. And at that night, I knew something was different. And I always speak, I always cry, but tonight is like so bad, man. And like this place changed my life. So I was in this place at this night, and we had ex-convicts and the mayor, the city manager, and everybody's hanging out, having fun, playing games. It was TLC across the street. And it just blew my mind because I didn't think something like that could happen anywhere. Because in my world, in the past, it was cops and robbers, convicts and judges. Never in the same room unless it was like a fight or a battle. And everybody was here showing each other love, showing each other respect, and it blew my mind. And while I was in that recovery home that I was in Littleton, I had a vision of doing my own recovery home. And I would pray about it, and I was collecting coffee cups and microwaves and tucking them under my bed and in the closet, getting ready for it, because I would put in the work. You know, and I have a saying that God can move mountains, but bring a shovel. because I have to put in that work to be obedient. And I let it happen in God's time. And long story short, which is very hard for me to do, but I was in the recovery home for 2 years. I moved out, got my own apartment, driver's license, paid off thousands of dollars in child support, and just fixed my past and everything else. And I remember during those 3 years, I remember telling my buddy Keith that owns the recovery homes in Littleton, I told him this before. I think it was like when I was a year clean. I said, every time I try to get clean, every time I try to get sober, there was something missing. I thought it was the girlfriend or the Rolex or the Escalade or the sneakers or the Gucci belt or whatever it was. And come to find out, it wasn't any of that. And I'll tie this in, and come to find out, it was a relationship with God, a relationship with Jesus that I never knew I had, and I never knew I could work on. And then I finally get it, and I figure it out. And that was when I really started doing the right thing in my life. I would wake up every day grateful. I would pray, and that's the only thing I've done perfect every day in the past almost 5 years, was pray and stay grateful. Hands open. Like, here, this is what we do. We give. We give, we share, we love. And, oh, man. Right now, we have 2 men's recovery homes in the city of Claremont. We're opening up a third. Thank you. You're welcome. We're working on a female location, and we see the enemy working with that location. We see the enemy working. We've been fighting, and we're not giving up. We are not giving up. We have not given up, and we will not give up. Because there's probably a dozen guys in this room that their lives are being changed as we stand here, right this moment, right this second. Because REMIX welcomed me, ex-convict, deadbeat dad, and all the worst. And it was so bad that I still label myself those things. And I remember the night I was standing in the back, and I'm a city kid, man. I like rap music. I swear sometimes. I got a little hip-hop swag going. I am who I am. I'm abrasive. I'm rough around the edges. God's working on me, man, for real. And I allow it to happen because I want to be a better person, And to bring it back to what I was going to say is I remember I was in the back, and I felt, now I've been judged my entire life, literally from judges and from other people. Everyone in my family judges me. People I know judge me still to this day. People in the city, people in the neighborhood, they judge me, good, bad, or indifferent. Either way, I'm being judged. And this is the only place on the planet that I've been to that I never felt judged. And I will never forget that night. I will never forget that night. And ever since that, we welcome anybody as long as there's a couple things that we can't allow in the recovery homes. So ever since that night, I've made it my mission, and my girlfriend and I made it our life to welcome almost everyone. I don't care where you come from, what you've done, where did all the smoke come from? Wow. Yeah. I just got blinded. And when I do our phone screenings to try to take people in and accept them, I tell the guys that call, you come here and you be yourself. You be a 100% yourself as long as you follow the rules and you go to your meetings and you do this and you do that, and we will support you and encourage you, and that's what we do. And when I do that, I feel alive. I feel like that's my calling from God. And the guys will tell you, man, I don't do it perfect. And I tell them, always advocate for yourself. Stick up for yourself. And that's what we do. Jimmy talked about that fight. Like, you got to ask. You have to ask. We'll see how many of them ask for something when I leave. But all of that to say, when I heard about the situation and that was what was going on, that old ex-convict wanted to come out, man, and wanted to do something. And at nights, I couldn't control it. I would be up crying, and I would be up praying, and I would try to figure it out. And I'm like, I can't do anything. This is God's plan, man. Like, this is it. Whatever it is, if it was in my life, if it was open so I can come up here and then open 3 recovery homes up here, and this is only the beginning, then so be it. You know, if it was for Remix Church to come alive, so be it. If it was for just one night of someone coming in this room and feeling like they were welcome, then so be it. Because I implement that in our recovery homes. People need to feel welcome. I tell guys when they come in, if you bring that negativity, man, it's going to be a problem because we can't have it. So these guys' lives are changing because I implement Remix in the house. Every guy that has come in has gotten a Remix brochure. It's like part of the criteria, like, here you go, I need a urine test, and here's a Remix brochure. You know? Yeah. And I can go on and on and on, you know, but I always get sidetracked. But back to that old ex-convict wanting to come out, all I kept thinking of was the shirt. Live that remixed life. So I couldn't act out because I lived that remixed life. I couldn't chase the landlord down because I lived that remixed life. You know, I can't, because I made a promise to myself, my family, God, that I would do the right thing to the best of my ability every day and every night. And we will make mistakes, and we are not perfect, but we are welcome, you know, and man, like, this is so tough, man. This is so hard, you know. When everyone leaves here tonight, just know that this community is a better place because of what happened and because of what will continue to happen. Because this is driving my girlfriend and I to do something different, you know. I still have to figure out what God wants, because I can say what I want, you know, and it usually never works out. It's always what God wants. And then whenever I get it, I'm like, okay, that's God's will, no problem. And that's the biggest piece that I got here. You know, I'll wrap up in a second. I keep saying that, but, you know, this is important because my children, Faith and Christian, every Friday, we going to Remix? We going to Remix? We going to Remix? We going to Remix? You too? Yeah. Yeah, we going to Remix. They love it. Faith was at the counter earlier. Can I get a couple stickers so I can give it to my teacher, so I can give it to my friends at school? They will continue that, living that Remix life. And so will I. Hope you guys do. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Can somebody put a camera on me? Because my mom always wanted me to be a preacher, and this might be as close as I get. Jimmy came up here, and he listed off so many names. He named so many people that were instrumental here and did such a good job here. But there was one he left out. He didn't say his own name. Jimmy, come up here. Come here. I'm bigger. I'll fight you. Guys, give it up for Jimmy. Jimmy just told me I saved his life. He claims I did. I think I just helped a friend up off the ground. From under a truck. All right, that was it. You can sit now. You got your applause. It's my time. Jimmy and I grew up together, not like in the same house or in bunk beds or anything. We're not related. But we played Little League together. We went to several different churches together. We had sleepovers. We played together. We went swimming, all kinds of stuff. And he's a good guy. He was there in Little League. He was one of the few kids that didn't laugh at me when I struck out almost every time. And he was one of the ones that cheered loudest when I finally, my third hit of all season, I hit a home run. So it's there for me. And like I said, we grew up in church, so we grew up with a lot of the same beliefs. And my path hasn't been the same as his. And it's led me outside of a lot of the things I grew up with. And I don't always know the way back. But I know when I talk to Jimmy, he's like, it's over here. Never tries to drag me, but he lets me know it's over here when I want it. And like I said, this is going to come close to preaching, but I'm used to being a comic. And as a comic, what I try to do is make my point with as few words as possible, unlike preachers. So I will say this to you guys tonight, and I hope I don't embarrass you, Jim, or Will, or Sonia, or anybody else here. But not everybody, not one person here has ever met Jesus. They've never shook his hand, played Little League with him, chased frogs, or gone to a sleepover. So to a lot of people, they don't know what he's like. Some people, he's just a really interesting character in one of the best-selling books in the world, like Harry Potter or Luke Skywalker. But my mom always told me to be more like Jesus, and I don't know Jesus. I've never met him. But I've met people like Jimmy and Will and Sonia and every other person here. So I guess an encouragement from somebody from the outside, we could all try to be a little more like the people that they can point at and say, that's somebody who I know is like Jesus, and we can be like them. I guess that's it. I might have had more of a point, but I lost it. So thank you, Jimmy, for having me here. I think this counts as my 9th time, so I don't have to move to Nashville. I don't know what the comedy scene is like there. I cannot sing a lick, so I don't know. From all the guys I brought to this stage, from them, I will say they all loved being here. Almost every single one of them came into it very skeptical. So I'm going to tell jokes at a church coffee house. I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's really cool. Everybody there is super receptive and exciting. And we've had some people come to this stage that have gone to move things. We had one guy come here who went on to be like a week-long Jeopardy champion. That was pretty cool. One of my favorite friends, Drew Dunn, that came here to do the stage, is now touring the country with Dane Cook. He's doing national tours now. It's exciting, and he came here and he told jokes to us at REMIX. Some of my closest friends said that performing at REMIX made them a better writer because they couldn't rely on the cuss words and the dirty stuff. They had to be clever. And they also said they really appreciated that you guys like the cheesy stuff, so that's really good. So I know I said I was done before, but I'm really done now. Thank you guys all. Thank you so much, Jimmy and the crew here. I'm going to miss this place so much. Thank you.
Hey guys, so my name's Solomon, and I'm born and raised Claremont, New Hampshire. Anyone else in here from Claremont, born and raised? Yeah? Well, see, when you tell someone from out of town that, the reaction is usually, oh. You know, you don't get like the clapping or the cheering, but I'll tell you what, when I was growing up, that's the thing you're used to. And when you're constantly telling people, or even a town or a city for that matter, that they're not amounting to something, the mindset is placed there. So you're growing up in this town where you already come in thinking, man, what am I going to do? Like Claremont, right? Everyone reacts. Oh, so growing up my whole life, I always had the passion, the will to, you know, when I'm older, I wanted to bring change to Claremont. So now here I am older, I live in Missouri, but that's besides the point. Jimmy is someone who took that ideal and brought it to fruition. Jimmy had the vision, and of course Jimmy's family as well played a huge part in that. So Jimmy and his family, they had the vision, the will, the passion to bring real change to Claremont. And we've seen it happen, not only in people's lives, but the city itself has undergone drastic change. I mean, you've seen the revitalization, but coming back from Missouri, there are buildings that were crumbling to the ground empty for my entire life that all of a sudden I come back into town, there's new construction, there's the apartment buildings that are in a building that's been empty my whole life. They're revitalizing the Rite Aid building, which I never thought I'd see. So you've seen drastic change for the entire city, not just in people's lives, but the town itself has benefited from, I think, just having that new vision placed in people's minds, having that new idea on the field, that you can be something, you can improve, you can bring change just by the will and the passion and the vision. So with that, thank you. And even though REMIX will not be here in the brick and mortar sense, as Jimmy was saying, it's now our responsibility to continue that vision and REMIX Claremont and continue to bring change. Thank you.
I'll make it quick. That was my brother who just spoke, and he said a lot of. Sorry, I have no voice, but I just wanted to thank Jimmy and his wife Kate for everything that they've done with REMIX. It's been such an incredible thing to know them and to be a part of REMIX. And I really believe that REMIX gave me, REMIX 6 years ago, I was just a young, aspiring musician, and I still am. But REMIX gave me a sense of community and fellowship and a place where I could feel just so welcome. You guys had me on your stage countless times, and I just want to thank you for that. And like Solomon was saying too, that REMIX is not a building and it's not an organization, and that the people who have the heart for REMIX are still here, and they're going to be in the community. So thank you guys so much.
Lovely. Anyway, hello, my name is Christopher Wilson, and I apologize in advance. I am unprepared, and I have a stutter. But but I've been coming here for the past, 5, maybe 6 years, and I used to be just a very down, depressed kid. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. My mental health was taking a complete nosedive, and over the course of the years I've been here, I've found a sense of community. And I may not come here as often, but it still has that amazing feeling to it. Like, I know that I am welcome here, that I am safe. And I just want to say, I'm pretty sure that can go for everyone here. We all, like, regardless of where we come from, how we got where we are today, how we identify, how we live our lives, none of it matters. We all receive the same respect, and I find that beautiful. And it's a real shame that we're losing such an impactful environment. And I really hope sometime along the line we get somewhere that we can find the same feeling, find the same community and family. But in the meantime, I hope that we can all come together in some form, keep this town, like they've said, everything since they've come here has gotten improved. We've seen such amazing developments in this town alone, and I really hope to keep seeing it, and hopefully not get back to the point where it was, just in complete disrepair. Can't imagine it will, but, I'm pretty sure that's all I've had to say, and anyone that wants to come up?
Just one of, I first started coming to REMIX about 5 years ago. I was invited by my health coach at the time, Tamara. I was struggling with my weight at that time, and I got to a really unhealthy point, and she was ending her time at my job, and she recommended Celebrate Recovery by a Remix, and I started attending about 5 years ago, and it was a really big blessing because at that point I was also struggling with a lot of things, primarily my anxiety and depression. My anxiety and depression was so crippling at that time that I could not even barely get out of bed at times, and just Remix, just do not just Celebrate Recovery, but also Remix, you know, just with the community, you know, you find healing in the community, and just everyone here at Remix has been such a blessing to me over that, and I'm just very thankful for what God has done through Remix. And I know that tonight is the last night as a physical building, but somebody once told me that the church is not a building, but the people, and I want to say that about Remix. You know, I look at everyone out here, and we're Remix too, and it's also the people. But words can't describe how much of a blessing Remix has been for me, and my heart sank the day that I found out that this location was closing. So, but I'm very thankful for that. Thank you.
So my name is Jordan Woodbury, and I've been coming here to Remix since pretty much this whole thing started, and I've thankful to see just how much of a blessing that Remix has been to this family. I meant to this community. I meant to say, and I've really enjoyed fellowshipping with different people here, and I've really enjoyed just all the events that have been hosted, whether it be Jonathan Cyphers playing, or Evelyn Tormier, or Ben Fuller. I'm just thankful for the great impact that Remix has had on me, and just, yeah, this whole community.
Hey, I wasn't sure if I was going to say anything, but during Jimmy's talk and sharing about the history of this place, I was struck because I've been here from the beginning. I remember walking in here when it was being built and lending a hand for a couple nights, the comedy nights, the shows, and this was the first place. I'd written music for a long time. This is the first place I ever performed songs in like a legitimate way. Jimmy gave me that space. I think was I the first band? You were. Yeah, first band to play in here. Dan was the drummer. This was the launching point of the season that I'm in now. And what's funny is that I moved away, and I knew every time I came back, I moved up to upstate New York not long after the first time I played here. I knew every time I came back that there was a possibility that I could probably play some of the new songs I'd written here. And there isn't really a music scene, especially for Christian or Christian-adjacent music in this area, in this whole region. And so to have a place like this where you could share those songs and they be received well was special and valuable for the start. With 2020, I found myself without work, without clarity of vision, I had purpose, but at the same time felt like God was transitioning me into a new season. And I remember moving back to New Hampshire just because I wanted to be close to my family, and really not having any clarity after that. And I got a text message from Jimmy saying, "Hey, are you going to be free in September?" And I said, "I don't even know what I'm doing next week at this point. If I'm around, I could do something." And he asked if I could play just an acoustic set during a surprise party for a guy named Ben Fuller. And he was like, "Just play whatever you feel like playing." And so I was like, "Cool, I'm going to try all the songs that I've been writing." And I felt like God had given me fresh vision and new song ideas and a new sound to play around with. And so I stood on this stage as Ben walked in thinking he was singing Happy Birthday, and it turned on him real fast, and I watched fear enter his face, and then surprise and joy. And then I just did my thing. I played music in the background, and that was the turning point, because I met Ben, who immediately thought I'd been flown in from Nashville, which was a massive compliment. And I met his manager, and then within 6 months of that, I flew down to Nashville to do my first trip, and then I did another trip, and then I did another trip, and then I moved there. All within a year of that invitation from Jimmy. This place is uniquely tied to my life and so many other people's lives. It's been a valuable, impactful thing, and to me, it's what it looks like when you submit yourself to the Lord and what He wants to do with your life. And it's been an encouragement to me to see that and to know Jimmy and to get to meet all of you guys. And so I'm going to miss this place a lot. It's a very special place, but I'm also looking forward to what the future holds for Jimmy and REMIX. And so, cheers.
Hey everyone, so my name is Alex Bolio, and I've been coming to REMIX pretty much since it opened. I was a part of the CR ministry for a while. I met a lot of great people. Even after that, we kept coming, and God was opening up a lot of doors. I met a lot of you guys. And it was just a really great place to hang out. I mean, I found, fellowship with guys at Riverbank because of this place. And, I just look forward to seeing all you guys in the future. God bless.
My name is James Morris, and I was struggling with depression because of COVID, and I felt like I wanted to take my life, and I didn't want to be here anymore. And God saved my life. He told me, I need to get out of my house and come to REMIX. And REMIX has changed my life and been better. And I gave my life to Jesus about 2 weeks ago, and I got baptized. And it's all about God, not about us. And always and never better. I'm finding this out. I got a great job because of God, and all my friends because of God. But now my mom is talking about going to church because of God, and I'm so thankful. I'm going to miss all my friends here. I love you guys. Thank you all so much.
That's a legit mic drop right there. Good job. Well played, James. Anyone else?
I have that phone, right? It's on your thing here. I would like to talk to you.
Come on up here. Give it up for Pearly. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. The first time I was ever here was 1.5 years ago. It was thanks to my true friend Emily Murphy, who is not here right now, unfortunately. She's somewhere else. She's at a Mount Royal Academy, but this has changed me a lot. It really gave me a second home. I really love this place, especially all the people I ever met here, especially you. Yeah, you and Jordan and many others. I am really humbled. I will never forget all the time I was here playing a lot of Uno, especially Uno Flip. Remember that, George? Yeah. And even if he ever lost, at least he's always a winner to me. And so is Emily, and so is Anthony. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss this place. It really meant the world to me. And I know Jimmy has a poem that I actually wrote for him, that I wrote for everyone. And it looks like he's gonna get it right now. Yeah. I really wrote that poem because it really meant the world to me and what I experienced very well. It's gonna always, it always breaks my heart every single time. And I'll tell you, whatever was best for me would be the best I ever had.
I'm sad. It's at home.
It's okay.
Let me tell you guys something. Outside of Pearlie's contagious laughter, outside of that, if he somehow navigated in here without you hearing him laugh, the way you know Pearlie's here is the card shuffler, right? Yeah, see? Legit. This guy shows up prepared every Friday night, right?
Yeah, every time I'm here.
Yes. Who got it for you? It was like Emily? Or?
Emily and Anthony did.
Yes. He takes his Friday nights seriously, right?
Yeah.
We love having you here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you.
You know, I miss you, Pearlie. Melissa?
I do not like being up here, so that's how much I love Remix. I'm getting out of the light. So, I am gonna cry, but that's okay. So this place, I was introduced by my previous job at the recovery center right down the street. So we're from Mass, coming to New Hampshire. I have to admit, I never wanted to live in New Hampshire. And then being in Claremont, I was like, what the heck? But I saw a lot of brokenness. I saw a lot of lost people. I saw a lot of hopelessness and just defeat. And I still see it, but I saw potential, you know, in the buildings and the people. And the more that I've been in this community, the more I get to know the people and the community partners here. We have great community support here, not only for people in recovery, but just people in general that are really struggling. And our daughter Faith. You know, it takes me a while to warm up to people, but I feel comfortable with Jimmy and his family now, and that's just my own thing. I'm Christian, but I have a past, and I still have my barriers and my walls up, and I have to work on that. But, you know, coming here, the vibe I got was like Boston. So I struggle living in New Hampshire. I struggle to connect here. I struggle. It's different for me. So I live in isolation a lot. Still being in recovery for some time now, it's difficult because things are different, and I find it difficult to connect. This is one place that that was like back home, you know, for me. And it's a place, just like everybody else has said, you know, we're all beautifully blended from all walks of life, and welcomed and loved here, and I felt that. You know, I remember one night that you know, somebody in our house that he relapsed, and he left, and I think it was, he overdosed like 3 times within 4 days or something like that, but I remember that night he came in, Jimmy welcomed him, you know, and and he looked rough, like, and we played Jenga in the back, you know, and you could tell like that defeat, you know, when somebody just knows what they just did, and but he came in and he felt loved and he felt welcome. I don't know if he's alive to this day, but I remember that night, and it was a really good moment for me, because you know, people can say that they're believers and they're Christian, whatever, but like the way people treat others and love others really speaks to me. That's where I see God. And I was never like I was always a believer. When I heard the name Jesus and all this stuff, and you know, I lived down south for a little bit, I was like, oh, I don't want anything to do with that. That's like freaky stuff. I don't want it. And I warmed up to that through our daughter's biological father overdosing. And I was kind of not forced into the church, but I slowly really learned what Christianity was through that tragedy. And I learned to forgive God. And I knew it wasn't him. Even being in recovery, I was angry at God. And, you know, don't let God scare you. Don't let those words, whatever. You know, for me, God is love. God is love. And please remember this place and love somebody else. And stay connected to Jimmy's. Go to his church. Just check it out. Go for free. Awesome cup of coffee, right? No expectations. Just go have coffee. Say hi, and then maybe leave. I don't know, but just go. Going is half the battle. And, you know, really being a Christian and loving God is like just being a good human being, really. It's just that simple. There's more to it, obviously, but I'm trying to talk to the people who are testing the waters, or that, you know, they don't know about it yet, or they want to know more, but they're scared, nervous, whatever past they have. I just want to say thank you so much for your faith. Thank you for welcoming, you know, people like us. We're not still places we are not welcomed in this community, you know. There's still people that don't want us here. And these are most of the guys in the house, which I like, touches my heart to see them here. And, you know, we're welcomed here. And he has taken his family too. All of you volunteers have taken all of our men in, loved them up, gave them this safe place where they didn't have to go to a bar to get this connection. You know, they didn't have to be forced and shoved into these uncomfortable places and situations where they didn't feel okay. And it was because of you all, you know, and everybody who showed up. I just want to say thank you so much. And we will always stay, you're locked in with us. All you guys too, volunteer. So yeah, just love on somebody, and even if it's difficult. And thank you. That's it.
Okay, I guess I'm speaking. Wow, let me tell you about REMIX. REMIX. When I first came to REMIX, I thought, oh, this is one of my parents' clubs that I'm just gonna be stuck into. Like, I'm gonna be here for hours. Mom's gonna be talking about the mall with some of her book club friends. You know, something about that. Then I started hearing the music, and I'm like, I think I kind of like this place. I think it's maybe like a hangout spot. And then I met Jimmy. And Jimmy, he's a cool dude. Him and his family are just amazing, strong, loving people. And they like welcomed my family into theirs. And it meant a lot to me. Like, I feel like this is a safe place for me. And me and my family, we've been through literal hell. Like, there's so much. Like my mom said earlier, my father, he overdosed when I was 5 months old. And now I have Sean. And I have, like, the guys in the house, and they're supporting all of us. We're supporting them. There's, like, I can't even explain how I feel about this, because, like, there's so many, like, loving and caring people that, like, mean so much to me, and it breaks my heart and it tears me down that Remix is closing. Like, every Friday I'm always like, can we go to Remix? Can we go to Remix? And one time I came here and I realized it was for like 16 plus. I was devastated. It's like, oh no. Man, I got like 4 more years. But I'm hoping that the church can, you know, the Remix Church opening up soon. And I love the church. It's amazing. I love the people there. It's an amazing place. And I hope you guys all go there and visit sometime. But yeah, this, like, Remix is just amazing. All the people who volunteer here, they mean so much to, like, me and my family. And I keep on repeating the same thing over and over. But still, like, this place is literally life-changing. The amount of people, like, the amount of people's lives that have been changed just because of coming here. Like, Remix changed Sean's life. He was found passed out in a pool, overdosed. He went from, like, I'm not gonna say like the worst person in the world, but he went from, like, a horrible person, no offense, Sean, to, like, a life-changing person just because of, like, recovery and Remix and Jimmy and his family and this loving community. And I'm, like, so thankful and so grateful that, like, there's a godly place where we can all go and, like, be godly together. And there's no alcohol, there's no drugs, there's no weed. I went to one of my family's birthday parties the other weekend, and it was in Mass, and there was some older dudes drinking and smoking weed. I felt so uncomfortable. My mood went down. It went downhill. I ran to the bathroom and started crying. I couldn't, like, keep back my tears. I was so uncomfortable because even though I've been through stuff, there's still, like, I'm not used to that. And I witnessed, like, people getting drunk, getting high. I was not having it. And here in Remix, we can just drink coffee and we can drink iced tea and oh my gosh, no drugs, no weed, like, and there's KB going on. I love KB. I absolutely love KB. We're going to SoulFest in August. I am pumped for that. And, like, I love Jimmy. Who doesn't? Gotta love Remix, gotta love Jimmy. That's really all I gotta say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You can come up, Christian? Come on, Christian. What's Remix meant to you?
The Mario Kart and Jackson. Cause I get to meet Jimmy, and that I get to meet all my family members, and that I get to have hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Hey, we probably sell more hot chocolate than coffee. We're a coffee bar, but who knew, right? You gotta have the hot chocolate. And I'll tell you, everyone's like, you got faith and Christian, like, I didn't think you let kids into this place. Let me tell you, Sean and Melissa, the kids are coming. It's a package deal, right? It's a package deal. Anyone else? Anyone else? No? Okay. Well, let me wrap up our time with just two things. One, I posted this saying a few years ago, and then one of our volunteers, Ed Bernard, he took this, and now it's his profile picture, and it's been his profile picture for a while now, for the last 3 years, this little saying. And I was reading it tonight, and I'm like, wow, that so fits what's happening, what's in this room right now, okay? Listen to every word of this. We are misfits, a people who take God at his word, risk takers, light bringers, game changers, generational wrecking balls, home builders, world travelers, yes sayers, Red Sea walkers, kingdom of darkness topplers. We refuse to give up in or out. We are audacious pioneers who forge new ways. We are rebels with the gospel who go outside of religion where Jesus is facilitating restoration and setting tables. The insider world is not our home. Pull up a chair. We are misfits, a people who take God at his word. Is that good? I'm like, that is us. That is us. And let me tell you, as you were hearing everyone share, everyone had something different that Remix has meant to them, something that Remix was able to offer them, and in turn, they were able to offer to Remix. The last thing I'm going to share before we kind of transition, again, a number of years ago, and this is, I've never really heard my brother share a lot. Like, and whenever I'll be like, hey, Will, you're going to preach next week. He's like, yeah, right. Like, I've never heard him preach. But I know he's in the Word, and I know he listens to God. And he shared this passage with me. And he's like, this is before any talk of a revitalization. This is what he shared with me. He goes, I really feel like this is the passage that God's putting on my heart for Claremont. And it's from Ezekiel 36, verses 33 through 36. I guess I am kind of preaching because I'm reading a Bible verse here. But listen to this verse and tell me you don't see what just happened out there. Message of God the Master. On the day I scrub you clean from all your filthy living, I'll also make your cities livable. The ruins will be rebuilt. The neglected land will be worked again, no longer overgrown with weeds and thistles, worthless in the eyes of passers-by. People will exclaim, why this weed patch has been turned into a Garden of Eden. And the ruined cities smashed into oblivion are now thriving. The nations around you that are still in existence will realize that I, God, rebuild ruins and replant empty waste places. I, God, said so, and I'll do it. And I don't know about you, but I find that passage so very applicable in what we've seen happen here. Things being rebuilt, things that have had no value. Again, I've heard people say, growing up here, Claremont, it's always been looked down on. Low income, poverty, drugs, alcohol, homeless, like you name the bad thing, quote unquote. Honestly, part of my testimony, that's why I wanted to leave here. I want nothing to do with it. Get me out of here. But it was only after I took my house off the market that Kate and I conceived Jack. That's the part of the miracle in all this. We committed to a community, and then God said, now I will provide. And then God birthed the vision for Remix. It's all intertwined. And I'll tell you, again, we're all kind of misfits, finding our way, navigating. And I appreciate you guys sharing openly, sharing your stories, because they're so very impactful. Everyone's story unique. And I'm humbled by hearing how all of you guys have felt welcomed here. A place of refuge, a place of safety. I see all the guys from the home here. I love you guys. I'm so grateful that you guys. It still takes a choice. Sean can be like, go to Remix, go to Remix. But at the end of the day, you guys got to make the choice of whether or not you're going to go to Remix. And I love hearing your guys' stories. And all of you guys from all of the local churches, just from the community in general, supporting us over and over. Leanne, Kyle, every Friday night. Right? This is your spot. Love you guys. So grateful. I could go around this room naming family after family, individual. B, Brandon. I know it's sad. I'm not going to ask him to say anything because he'll start crying. He will start crying. He's angry. I think we're all going to go through stages of mourning here, myself included. Sonia, did you? Yep, come on. You want to say something? Oh, break. I can't put the mic over there. Dan would say, no, that's not a good idea to put the mic in front of the speakers. Bad idea. Let's give it up for Sonia. Oh. Because I'm Jimmy and I'm going to say, I have to say this before I let her talk, is there's a number of people that I would say are the epitome of living that remix life and literally can look at day 1 to year whatever, 4? You're on year 4? 5? Yeah. And literally watch someone's life change before your eyes. You're literally watching a 5-year movie, a documentary of this person's life. She's one of them. Working so closely beside her, and whether it's here or at church, and literally just see someone, and not just physically, but spiritually, just radically changed, top to bottom, inside and out. This is my sister Sonia, so.
Hi. I'm Sonia.
No tears.
Put your hands up.
Oh, she's going to have us exercising.
Oh, yeah? Put your hands down. Put it back up. Yeah, see, that was a workout. All right, so Remix to me is my whole entire life right now, actually. Everything that I do basically has living that Remix life base. I was working in an office. I was doing HR and payroll. I was there for like 19 years. Very comfortable. That was my whole life. I drank, did drugs, was married, divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced, and all. Oh yeah. And just turmoil, basically. I quit drinking when my daughter was 15, my son's 17. So they lived their whole lives with a drunk mom, and absent. My parents raised my son. So meeting Jimmy, going to church at Life Fellowship, being asked to be part of the board when my life was not like this. My life was a mess, but Jimmy still said, come here. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'll show up. And that's just what you have to do. You don't, if I sat here and thought about every single step I have to take, every single class I would have to take, person I would have to take, I'm shy. I actually am scared of people. People are exhausting and needy and everything. And so, but I throw myself right in there now. COVID, I say thank you. Thank you, COVID, for making me think differently. We had to go home. I'm afraid of being by myself, so I was like, let's go to Shaw's. I'm going to work at Shaw's. And that was my ministry while Remix was closed. I was at the register meeting people where they were at, sometimes the only person that they talked to that day. So I just took it upon myself to do that. I went up there, I said, hey, do you have a people greeter position? And they said, the closest we have is a cashier. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And they're like, and I said, okay, see you tomorrow. They're like, you have paperwork to do. We have to hire you. You can't volunteer. So I did that, met lots of people, joined the fire department in Walpole. I just became a bigger part of my church. And I now run Walpole Creamery. I make ice cream for a living. And also, since life is all about balance, I'm a personal trainer. So COVID, actually, I stepped away from my job of 19 years and started working with my friend at a gym and became a personal trainer for a year. And in that year, lots and lots and lots of change and growth and shrinking. I was going pretty close to 350 pounds before I quit drinking. So almost a 200-pound. Sometimes I'll walk around with a weight vest. I'll carry weights. I'll push around that 200 pounds, like just to be like, I was walking. This was on me. And living that remix life, getting that junk out of my system, meaning everything, not just alcohol and drugs, like the nonsense of the world, and just focusing on, reaching others, sharing my testimony, and just if the way that you see, like Chad, he said he sees Jesus, and if that's what I want to show. I want to show light. People say, "You're so amazing. You did this. You did this." I did not do this. If under my power, I would be dead. I didn't want to stop drinking. My body gave up. My body, my heart, my liver, my kidneys, everything was stopping. I was in the hospital for weeks, and I was getting revived. I was dead. I was dying. And without God, none of this is possible. And I will always give the glory to God because it is not my own power. So everybody, we're gonna move for a minute because we're about to have to worship and stuff like that. So lift up your leg. Lift up your other leg. Lift up your other leg. Go, 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 go. Woo, woo! Yeah.
Stay up here, Sonia. Stay up here. Stay up here. Will, Ben, come on up. Ed, Christina, Julie, Virginia, all you guys. Ed, Christina, Eduardo, Bernardo. Yep. Eduardo Bernardo. Come on upstage. Upstage. Is Christina here? Okay, will you come up here? Ed. I just wanted you guys to put names with faces. I know on our last night. But this is the team. I know I heard my name a lot tonight, but it takes a team. And this is the team that has served this community behind the scenes. This is the REMIX board of directors that makes decisions. And we get together, we pray, we strategize, and that's what we've been doing for 6 to 7 years over this community. And anytime that you make donations for coffee, this is the group that's kind of prayerfully deciding how are we going to donate this? How are we going to sow into our community? How are we going to invest? What are we going to do? It's really these guys right here. So I'm humbled by having served alongside you guys for 7 years and so very grateful and trust that God's got good things in store for all of you guys. Can we give it up for these guys for just serving so well? I really want to make Will say something, just because Will someone with a killer beard like that, I just want to say something, like inspiring. Inspire me, beard man. Wait, we did a movie night at our church. What were you? You were beard man or something? Beard man, yes.
Come on, Will. Come on, Will.
He's got nothing.
Sing a song.
No, that'll be Julie and Sarah later. Okay. Well, we love you guys. This has been a fantastic night. It's been a wonderful night. It's been a wonderful 6 years. To the night. I hope you guys catch that. It literally is to the night. And that's where, as hard as it is, I trust that God's in it. I have to trust that God is in it. He's ordained tonight. He's ordained this moment. And our focus shifts. And it's not goodbye, it'll be see you later, because I can't imagine what God has done here is just all done. There's going to be something more, whether it's through REMIX Church or whatever. So Continue to live that remix life. Continue to follow us. God's got good things in store. We love you guys. And what I'm going to tell you now is we're going to kind of transition. We're actually not closing right away. We brought in Remix, and we mentioned it all throughout the night, from a place of prayer and worship. And we're going to go out in a place of prayer and worship. So those of you who would like to stick around, we're going to transition. Julie and Sarah are going to lead us with like 4 or 5 songs just in a place of worship to just give glory to God for what he's done. I mean, how can you not? How can you not? If we left this place and didn't articulate our thanks and our gratitude to God, we'd be remiss. So stick around with us in that place of worship. We'll probably kick that off in probably 10 minutes or so. Love you guys. God bless you. If you're going to leave, thank you so much.
Can I have all the guys jump on the stage to get a picture?
Go for it. Go for it. Oh, yeah, before you guys leave, we got to do a raffle. We got to do a raffle. If you didn't get a ticket, come see Sarah. What we're giving away are 2 pairs of tickets to see Switchfoot. Switchfoot is a killer band. They are amazing. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary of their first album, The Beautiful Letdown. They're going to be... Where's the tickets? Well, I'm trying to think where they're playing. Oh, they're in Boston. It's in Boston. It's on a Sunday night, the Wilbur Theater in Boston. We're giving away 2 pairs. All right? The concert's not till October, so you got plenty of time to plan, okay? And let me tell you, Virginia, did you get a ticket? Oh, Switchfoot. Kate's the one who got me hooked on Switchfoot. They're amazing. Their music is so incredible. Anyone else? Okay, everyone's got one. Well, Sarah, you're here, so you're going to draw. Let's do it. What's that? Is that someone's ticket? But what if that person wanted to win, Sarah? Okay. The winning ticket. No cheating. 378096. 378096. You have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 8096. Yeah, there were some people that left. Because actually, if everyone stayed here all night that have been here, there would be no room to move. Next one. 378037. 037. 378037. Oh boy. Problem. Could be a long night, that's right. 378-041. 041. Sean's like getting closer. 378-041. No one? Shake it up better. Come on, Sarah. 378-021. Three, 378-042. I hear a lot of people like they're close, but I'm like dodging all the numbers. 042. Wow, there were. Get someone else to pay. I did. I stopped. 378-019. 019. Do you even have tickets? Maybe this is all a joke on me. 019? Oh. Troy, 019. Lisa. Lisa Moore, all right. All right. So I'm going to connect with you after, and I got 2 tickets. I'm going to text you. That was 019. Why? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was. Nice pickup, Leanne. It was the 6th ticket for the 6th year. All right, so Lisa's got 2 in the last 2. Okay, we'll go with that one. The fallen ticket. 378066. Tonda's so mad right now. She's just like, pick my name. Hannah got it. All right. So Hannah and Lisa. Yep, that's the one. Bada bing. That was the ticket that fell on the ground. The discarded ticket. All right. Awesome. Those are the tickets. We'll get those to you guys. All right. Give us like 5 to 10 minutes to quickly change over a few things, and then we're going to have a place. What? Hannah's taking you? Well, there you go. Have at it. My wife's now going to see Switchfoot. Amazing. Oh, was it? It's a Sunday night. It's not even on a weekend. It's on a Sunday night. Probably. Hey, we're gonna slide over so they can get a picture. Yeah, I have to text it to you. Yeah, I'll pull it up and.
it then. Yeah, because Kyle like sprung up. Now I have cupcakes all around.
All right, we're gonna get started in some worship, and just love it if you would join us in song and just worship to God for all that He's done in Remix, through Remix. He has been so good. He's been so faithful, and we've seen Him move in this place and through this place, and so we're just so thankful for everything He's done. We know that He's not done yet. Amen. We know that He has so much more in store for this city. We know that He has so much more in store for Remix Church, and we trust Him with that. And so tonight as we worship, would you just thank Him with us? Lord, we thank you. Lord, you're worthy, Lord, of our praise. You're worthy of our song, Lord. Lord, would you just come tonight, Lord God, and just fill this place with your presence, Lord, as we go from this place, Lord. And worthy of every song we could ever sing, and worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. You're worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, Lord Jesus. Oh Jesus, your name above every other name. And Jesus, the only one who could ever sing. And worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up
and I will build my life upon your. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you, and I will not be shaken. I will build my life upon you. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you, and I will not be shaken. Holy, there is no one like, there is none beside. Open up my eyes, show me who you are, and fill me with your heart, and lead in your love to those around me. Thank you, Jesus. If it's bandaging the broken or washing filthy feet, here I am, Lord, send me. If it's loving one another, even when we don't agree, here I am, Lord, send me. And if I'm poor or if I'm wealthy, I'll serve you just the same. Here I am, Lord, send me. On the mountain or the valley, I will choose to praise. Here I am, Lord, send me. 'Cause if I'm known by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. I love you. And before you even ask, oh, my answer will be yes, because I love you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I love you. Yeah. If the truth cuts like an arrow, I will say it anyway. 'Cause here I am, Lord, send. And if it means that they reject me, Lord, I will still obey. 'Cause here I am, Lord, send me. 'Cause if I'm known by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. 'Cause I love you. And before you even ask, oh, my answer will be yes, because I love you. I love you. And when I'm standing in your glory, I'll be glad I chose to say, here I am. to hear you say, 'cause here I am, Lord, send me. Sing, here I am. Here I am, Lord. Oh, tell him, here I am. Oh, here I am, Lord. Send me. 'Cause if I know by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. I love you. And before you even ask, oh, my answer will be yes, because I love you. I love you. And if I'm known by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. 'Cause I love you. And before you even ask, oh, my answer will be yes, because I love you. I love you. Oh, yes. Oh, I love you. I give you my yes, 'cause I love you. Send me. I love you. Send me. Yes. Here I am, Lord. Send me. Oh, tell him tonight. Here I am, Lord. Send me. Oh, here I am. Here I am, Lord. Send. Oh, sing. Here I am. Oh, here I am, Lord. Send. Oh, we go from this place. Oh, here I am, Lord. Send me. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am, Lord. Send me. 'Cause if I'm known by how I love, let my life reflect how much I love you. I love you. And before you even ask, oh, my answer will be yes, because I love you. I love you. Ooh, I love you, Lord. Here we are, send us. How fitting on this night. Send us from this place, Lord. Help us to live a remixed life. Send us, send us, send us, send us, send us, send us, and send me, send me, oh, send me, yes, send me, send me, send me, Lord, here I am. Send me, Lord, here I am. Here I shepherd boy courageous. I may not face Goliath, but I've got my own giant. Oh God, my God, I need you. Oh God, my God, I need you. That's how I need you now. Oh rock of ages, I'm standing on your faithfulness, on your You heard your children, you hear your children now. You are the same God, you are the same God. You answered prayers back then, and you will answer. You are the same God, you are the same God. You were providing, you are providing. You are the same God, you are the same God. You moved in power then, God moved in power now. You are the same God, you are the same God. You were a healer, you are a healer now. You are the same, yes, you are the same, you were the Savior then, you are the Savior now. You are the same God, you are the same God. Oh God, my God. Rock of ages, I'm standing on your faithfulness, on your faithfulness, on your faithfulness. Oh, no matter what, we stand on your faithfulness. On your faithfulness. Oh, we need. Oh, we need. Would you come? We need. Fill us with faith. Fill us with faith to do what you've called us to do. Oh, fill us with faith to trust you no matter what. Fill us with faith to know that you'll provide for us. Fill us with faith tonight. I'm calling on the Holy Spirit, Almighty river
Lord, to fill us. Lord, you are the one, Lord, that we trust. Lord, you are the one that we can rely on, Lord. Because you're always good, Lord. You're always good to us, God. You're a good Father. Lord, you have good things in store, Lord. So we trust you tonight, Lord. We love you tonight, Lord. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. Come on, sing all my life. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Yes, you have. And all my life you have been so, so good. Yes, with every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You are close like no other. Yes, you are. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Oh yeah, come on, all my life. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Tell 'em tonight, yes. 'Cause all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. See your goodness is running. Your goodness is running after. It's running after me. Oh yes. Your goodness is running after. It's running after me. With my life laid down, surrender now. Give you everything. 'Cause your goodness is running after. It's running after me. Sing your goodness. 'Cause your goodness is running after. It's running after me. I believe it. Your goodness is running after. It's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. 'Cause your goodness is running after. It's running after me. Oh, sing all my life. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Yes, he has every moment. 'Cause all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Come on, lift your voice all my life. Oh, 'cause all my life you have been faithful. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. Oh, all my life you have been so, so good. Yes, with every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of the goodness of God. Oh, it's my testimony. I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, oh. Well, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God, for your goodness. Lord, how fitting it is for us just to be singing and declaring your goodness, God, as we, Lord, just come to the close, God, of a good thing, Lord, that you have done, God. Lord, we love you, God. We know, God, that you have good things in store for us, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Well, amen. I think Jimmy's going to say something. Thanks for worshiping with us tonight.
Amen. Yes, thank you guys for sticking around. I think it was my wife that preached a message about changing the atmosphere of life. And one way you do that, if you find yourself in a rut, things not going so good, life's crummy, just change the atmosphere. Those are things we can choose to do. You change the atmosphere. You put yourself in a place of worship and a place of prayer. Those two things, that's how you fight your battle. And wherever you are in the spectrum as far as your relationship with Jesus, maybe you don't have one. Maybe you're a lifelong learner and follower. But the commonality, the way anyone along that spectrum fights their battles, the weapons of our warfare, what you use is your prayer and worship to God. Prayer is your tool of communication, and worship is how you articulate your thankfulness, your gratitude for Him. And I put the pictures back up there because I can't help but look at those pictures and just, my posture and my spirit and my soul is just one of great, great gratitude. I stand in awe of what He's accomplished through this community, through you guys. I'm humbled that He allowed that to happen through the hands, through my hands, through our volunteers' hands, through your guys' hands. God can do amazing things, but bring a shovel, like Sean said. I mean, people have to do the hard work. It takes time, talent, and treasury. It takes all those things. I just spoke about this at our church. You got to live in a palms-up posture that says, it's not about me. It's not about me. I don't care how bad life is. It's never about you. It's really about other people. And I know that each and every one of, this is why I'm so encouraged. I know each and every one of you guys in here tonight understand that. And I'm just preaching to the choir. You guys get it. That's why you're here. You've believed in the mission. You've sown into the mission. But the mission never ends. It does not end. The doors here close, but the mission goes on. I just shared the passage, the Great Commission, right? It's called the Great Commission because there would never be any other higher calling on people's lives than to go and proclaim the name of Jesus. That's it. Period. Done deal. So I charge each and every one of you guys. The brick and mortar here closes, but our mission collectively and individually is to continue to go. Whatever that going looks like. Could be just right around the corner. Could be in your family. Could be to another country. Wherever it is, find where it is. I struggled with that for a long time. I wanted to leave here. I told you guys, I wanted to leave here. This was not to be my Judea and my Samaria. It was not. But God said, yes, it is. And until you get to a place of obedience and saying, yes, God, send me, wherever that is, in humbleness, things become clear. There's clarity of mind, clarity of purpose. You find what God's created you to do. So thank you for staying here and worshiping with us in great adoration and great gratitude to God Almighty for what He's done here and what He's done through you guys. Julie, Sarah, thank you so very much. I wish I had something like, woohoo! I was a DJ for a number of years, right? And you always needed that one jam that would just, you knew it would draw all the people to the dance floor. And you know what I came up with just now? And this is terrible. Cotton Eye Joe. I'm back for Cotton Eye Joe. Tatanda's like, Jimmy, why? You just ruined everything. Your reputation just went in the tank. I'm telling you, Tatanda, Throw on Cotton Eye Joe at a wedding with a bunch of people, and they will start dancing. Guaranteed. As cheesy and weird as that song is, it works. But I will not play that. I will not play that. I've never played that here. I thank God that's another good jam. But I don't have that at my fingertips right now. Sarah's like, she does. She has it at her fingertips. Can she play it from memory? That's the thing. You know all those lyrics, Julie? You're going to find out.
Wandering into the night and wanting a place to hide this weary this vagabond. I tried with all my might, but I just can't find. I'm slowly drifting, a vagabond. And just when I ran out of room, the man I didn't know, he told me that I was not alone. Because he picked me up, he turned me around, he placed my feet on the solid ground. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior, because he healed my heart, he changed my name, forever free. I'm not the same. I thank the Master, I thank the Savior. I cannot deny what I see. Got no choice but to believe. My doubts are burning like ashes in the wind. So sorry to my old friend. I'm burning bitterness. You can just keep it moving. Oh, you ain't welcome here. So now till I walk the streets of gold. He changed my name, forever free. I am not the same. I thank the Master. I thank the Savior. Thank you for worshiping with us, guys.